Except where them haters, where them hoes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
Another red flag I don't agree with goes like this. In other words, promotes paranoia and see their martial art as the end all and be all in martial arts and see martial arts as a self-defense. I'm about 75% guilty of that. I am a little paranoid. And I think you have to be a little paranoid to keep from being hit by things like the knockout game. I swore sometimes that it seemed like that person was trying to hit me, knock me out. Maybe I'm being paranoid because I turn around and look and it looked like people were trying to sneak up on me and they walk off. Turns out, I find out that's an actual thing. It's called the knockout game. So you do need a little low-level paranoia to make sure that nobody's coming up to get you. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Now, see my martial art as the end all and be all. Pretty much everybody who advocates a style, even if they don't think their style is better than everything else, they probably do think that the martial arts are a good way for you to protect yourself and are a good form of self-defense, and it really is. The only problem I ever had with my main style is that because it's mostly based on striking, I was thinking maybe there needs to be a way to do it so it's not as bad of an effect on people. That's why I started looking over into grappling, and whenever I could, I looked at some Aikido, and I'm glad I found the pressure point thing because that can actually make it less harmful than just, okay, he's coming at me, I'll break the jaw. But as ruthless as some people are these days, I think I'm starting to think that I've been wrong. I should have been trying to soften Taekwondo's edge, even though it's good to know how to do, other things. And I'm glad. I don't hate the other experience that I have. Don't take it like that. But I'm thinking I should just get myself in better shape and just be strike oriented, because as crazy as some of these people are nowadays, they need to have a jaw or two broken, it seems like. Like if you restrain them or you redirect them or you avoid altogether, they're just going to keep coming at you. I think the last time I got attacked by somebody who had no business attacking me, I didn't hit her. Yeah, it wasn't her and it wasn't my wife or my kid. Not a blood relative. And nobody I was in a relationship either, so don't go there. I was in a relationship with. I had to keep just defending and moving out the way until she got tired. And then I scolded her, and that was it. So, instead of having to do all that, if we had more equitable laws, I should have been able to just, and that'd be it. Knock the wind out. I don't like that idea. But as just as ridiculous and crazy as some people are, what else are you going to do? And if you can't use the martial arts as self-defense, and that's on you. I don't care what style you take. If we're talking strictly self-defense and against the most likely forms of attacks that you're going to get against people who don't know what they're doing or think they know what they're doing, but they don't. You are going to be prepared pretty much by everything that's out there. And let me pick a style that a lot of people swear is the worst thing these days. And it's not. By the way, I'm going to pick on WTF Taekwondo. I should be able to because I'm a Taekwondo, right? A lot of people swear that you can't use it for self-defense because it's kicking, right? That's because a lot of people just are totally inflexible and have terrible balance. That's why you can't use it for self-defense. Or they just don't know how to kick. Now, is it impractical for a lot of people to try to go a WTF way? Yeah, because they just don't have the leg flexibility. Their hips are not going to do it, and maybe their knees are shot. So they should use their hands. But if you think that a very good kicker cannot rock your world, you are delusional. Kicking, the leg, the strongest part of the body, if somebody can kick well enough to kick you in the head cold, if they can do it without warming up like I could when I was a teenager, of course they can defend themselves. Of course they can. Now, whether you want to rely on that as your primary form of self-defense as you get older, if you kick someone in the head, you're going to jail. When your legs can't do that anymore, when your back can't do that anymore as you age, that's another issue. But that doesn't make WTF bad. And the martial arts are not bad. Seriously, there really is no such thing as a bad style. It's really only a bad practitioner. It's not even a teacher, it's a bad practitioner. Because if you're not going to try to find the best teacher that works for you, you're a bad practitioner. If you're not going to try to find a style that you can make work for you, you're a bad practitioner. I mean, it would be like, I can't do flips. People, now if you know me, you may have seen me do what appears to be a flip if I'm thrown wrong, but that's really just rolling in the air. I can't do like a free form gymnastics floor routine or jump up in the air and do a backflip and come down like that. I can't. But if I relied on flipping as my primary form of self-defense, that would be bad for me. That would be a ridiculous practitioner. I need to try to find things and techniques that I know I can do and that'll work for me. And really, honestly, all most people need to be able to defend themselves is the ability to move their leg in a natural motion and move their hands like this and move their hands like that to cover up their head. That's about all the physical finesse that a lot of people need to do unarmed self-defense. I'm going to say this, I'm going to close. The late Jimmy Takamori, I swear to you, he can only do this and this. And he said that was all he needed from judo at that point in his development. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, at this point, I've just got it down to 2 moves, man. Anybody knows him, the language was much more colorful than that. And he used me in a demonstration, and he was showing, I think he was using me to show Kazushi. And a couple of people go, wow, that's really nice how you let that old man throw you around like that. I was like, I ain't let that old man do anything. Okay? It's like he learned all this stuff, and then he stripped it all away, and he got down to what he needed, what was a core hip for self-defense. And of course, he could teach all the other techniques. But in terms of his personal thing of what he did, he boiled it down to, why does that happen? He boiled it down to 2 moves. So, in Japanese styles, I think they call that takui waza. I don't know the Korean name for the technique, for that term, but the point is, you find your favorite things and you use them in whatever style you're studying. I know a lady, I'm not going to say who she is, I don't want to give away her secret. She told me this is it. Cecil, I just do this. That's all she does. She's got a cane, that's all she does. And that's all she needs to do. If anything happens, she got this. Now she trained and learned how to do all the other Taekwondo stuff, and now she's like, I'm on this. Okay? So yeah, the martial arts are a form of self-defense. If you don't believe it, that's on you. Just don't believe it. But don't try to scare everybody else away from people the rest of us, who know that martial arts are a form of self-defense. And the way this world is these days, you ought to be a little bit paranoid. You must not read the newspaper, and you must not have to deal with people who have problems. Just like that story that I'm probably not going to cover, but look it up. People, cops, planting toy guns on people so they can lie and say that the person had a gun so they have an excuse that they would shoot them. That's a fact. It's not an urban legend. So when you hear people talking about that, that's not paranoia. So stop saying we're paranoid. Stop saying that martial arts don't work, because you can't make it work. Of course, on this channel, I'm probably already preaching to the converted. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts. Help me get my subscribers up, please. And thanks for your time, seriously. And peace.